Relationships are crucial to how we understand our mental health. As a mental health therapist, we like to look at relationships to help us increase in the way we feel about ourselves and about our relationships. My name is Skonhovd, and I'm a master's level psychologist at Veridian Behavioral Health.
Well, Cameron, thank you for being on the show. We're going to be talking about a type of behavioral health therapy, which you've explained to me a little bit, which is called relational therapy.
Yeah, so when you're thinking about behavioral health, it's helpful to think of where it starts, what's the problem, and how do you fix it. So many experiences like anxiety and depression often have a relational origin. Anxiety can be thought of as a way to, a fear of outside events, fear of something in yourself, or a fear of another person. And in all of the situations, there's an inherent relationship where that probably stemmed from. When we're thinking about the origin of the problem, typically we go back to when we were most vulnerable, when situations are most influential on us. So typically the classic trope in therapy is like, oh, was that about your mother or your father? Typically that's often where we were most vulnerable, and so those events have a lot of significance. When thinking about when relational therapy is applicable or when to pursue that, of course, problems in your marriage, problems in your friendships, relationships, how you relate to yourself, those are all very important. But even in the ones that don't seem relationally kind of bound, often do have a relational component to them.
So they're manifesting maybe later in life. You're looking at earlier relationships is where you start.
And there's a theoretical debate about when we talk about what relationships. Is it important to unlock the past that's kind of lost to memory, or is it more important to say, well, what are the relationships now? And that's the most accessible, and let's focus on that. So a lot of people, more contemporary, focus on, well, how's your relationship now? And trying to understand the patterns in the present instead of trying to unlock the dark kind of shadows of the past. It's much easier to stay present than trying to walk down a road of your entire life.
Okay, so how does somebody start with this? I mean, what are they seeing in their life that says, I need to see a therapist about this?
Yeah. Well, I think difficulties in your relationship, if you're trying a romantic relationship and it seems like the same, the person keeps telling you the same thing, like, I just can't relate to you, or I can't feel like you're so distant, that can often be another one. Those can be indicators that relational therapy would be particularly helpful. But even the classic, like, I'm feeling anxious, or I'm feeling depressed, or I'm not sure about what I want to do with my life and my career, even that can have relational history. So the psychodynamic, which is the official jargon for relational therapy, that has been shown to be applicable to a lot of different people's problems, a lot of different problems.
Well, thank you so much for some great information. And thank you for watching. For more information, please visit veridianbh.com and like Salina Regional Health Center on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.